Well, good morning out there, everybody. How's everybody doing? Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. Boy, 2020 is a year that we can't wait to get it out of here. We're more than halfway through the 10th month, and we just hope and pray that 2021 brings us something way different. And when I say way different, I mean way different than we experienced in 2020. But October 21st, 2020, in the middle of fall, it's getting cooler in the mornings, having some really nice afternoons, especially if you're a golfer like me. If you get a chance to get out and play and kind of use it for a good outing where you can socially distance, get a little exercise, that's wonderful. So I encourage anybody to take, you don't have to be good. I'm not good. I was decent this weekend. but anyway, just happy to be here. Just want to wish all of you a very happy Wednesday. Hopefully your morning is getting off to a good start. You're at hump day, and so hopefully you had a good 2 days this week, had a great weekend, and you're looking forward to another weekend. That's the great thing about hump day. You can still sort of reminisce about the weekend that just passed and think about the weekend to come. And so our weekends really are taking on sort of a new meaning now because we're not out and about as we, perhaps once were, but, and some of us are working from home. So that weekend that you were able to sit at home and, catch a little football on TV like I do in the fall. Didn't have the same meaning exactly as it has had in the past, but nevertheless, the weekend's coming and we're really getting excited about it. Hopefully you're having a good week and you're going to have a good weekend. So just want to say good morning to my sister, Vanetta. How you doing this morning? Good to see you out there. Couple of things before I get into this rewinding of an old record that ever since I've been coming on, I've had to talk about because it's difficult not to talk about politics in America and the COVID-19 virus. So let me digress for a second before I start doing that and mention the fact that my favorite baseball team, the LA Dodgers, won a game. They were in the World Series. Go Dodgers. We got to call the Dodgers, though, and help them with their diversity. We got to really help them with their diversity. I mean, they're in LA and, and they got some great players and of course, have an African-American manager. I mean, I think that's great. But I definitely want to call them and tell them, hey, vet, I want to see some more brown people. I want to see darker people. But Mookie Betts, one of their great players. I was so surprised that the Red Sox gave him up and didn't re-sign him. I mean, that was amazing. Great that the Dodgers got him. Maybe this time they'll win. What they've been in 3 of the last 4 World Series or 2 of the last 3. Hadn't won one yet. Actually, the Dodgers haven't won a World Series since 1988. That's amazing. That's been 32 years ago. And I remember it well. I was watching it. Hey, Priscilla, good morning. So anyway, go Dodgers. Bama won again, of course. Roll Tide. They, I thought they handled Georgia, especially in the second half, very well. They shut them down. They kind of got together on defense. It looked like they may have simplified the defense just a bit and just played base. Now, Georgia didn't do them like Ole Miss did them and speed them up and try to confuse them. Kiffin, as we mentioned on here, did a great job with that. But that was a big win for them. No letdown, though. You can't let down. And speaking of Bama, Tua Tagovailoa is going to start for the Miami Dolphins next Sunday against the Rams. Now Tua's this guy, he never saw the field until last week. I mean, he hadn't gotten the field Fitzpatrick has been their quarterback for the Dolphins for a while. But you, just like with Hurts, when Tua saw the field in the national championship game against Georgia, he never gave up his position. So he sees the field last Sunday against the Jets, and now he's starting. And so we'll be paying really close attention to that. Great to see Tua starting. Great to see Alabama players. If you're an Alabama fan, of course, if you're an Oklahoma fan, you're happy for Kyler Murray and what's my Cleveland quarterback? God, I'm a Browns fan. I can't think of his name. You're happy to see these guys get a chance. If you're whatever fan, Michigan fan, I guess you're happy to see Michigan folks, Georgia fan. I'm happy to see all the SEC players do well. So all that's good. As I mentioned, it's difficult not to talk about what's happening. And the lead story right now for the next 2 weeks is, of course, the presidential election. But the co-lead story continues to be the COVID-19 virus. Folks, if you're paying attention to the news, it's not going away. We're not turning the corner, as the liar in chief is prone to say. If you look at the map, we are heading in the wrong direction. The incidences of positive tests are going up. More than half the country is experiencing an increase in cases. The incidence of hospitalizations are going up, approaching records once again. And so with those increases in cases, as well as increases in hospitalizations, the predictions are, if we don't correct that trend, and we may have waited too late, if we don't correct that trend, and whenever we correct it, we need to, we're going to see another increase in deaths. And we're already, 1,000 people per day. We're going to get higher than that, and that is not acceptable. And it's so amazing that the liar in chief, the person who is elected president of the United States, can stand up in front of cameras, in front of Americans, in front of the news media, and in front of his supporters, and just lie to their face. Hey, Stephanie, good morning. Just lie to their faces, to lie and say we're turning the corner when the science says we're not, and to be able to mock the scientist. It is ludicrous. It is something that none of us would have ever believed could possibly have happened in this country. I mean, it is something that seems like it's coming out of a C movie. Seems like it's coming. Renee, good morning. It seems like it's something that was made up, and that we're gonna, at the end of the day, the credits are gonna roll, and we're gonna clap and say, "Oh, that was a scary movie," or "That was a funny movie," or "Boy, that movie really had me, feeling some kind of way." But this ain't a movie. I mean, this is real. This is what's happening to us right now. We have someone who has no apprehension about lying, no apprehension, Judy, good morning, about having people do things that jeopardize their health, their family's health, their parents' health, the health of their friends and neighbors. No compulsion about that, no apprehension about it, no conscience about it. And so I just continue to say it is unfathomable to me that the other members of the Republican Party, those who are in elected positions, those who claim that they are patriots, those who claim that they are good Americans, those who want to be wrapped in the American flag when they're buried, Those folks aren't saying anything. Those people should be up in arms, just like I'm up in arms. Those people should be up in arms like some of the Democrats are up in arms, to say that this person, regardless of party, is not good for America. I've said it before and I'll continue to say it again. I feel like a broken record because every week I feel like I get on here and I say the same stuff, but it's just difficult not to say it, that our partisan divide in this united, quote unquote, states of America is our biggest problem. We are not able to govern in a way that is good for the people. We have to first be good for our party. And that is dangerous. That's what's allowing China to beat us in this race to be in the uh, top economic economy. That's what's letting Russia divide and conquer and sow seeds. Lucy, good morning. Sow seeds of discord among our folks. That's what's bothering us right now. This partisanship that says we have two different truths. We have a Republican truth and a Democratic truth. You know, so what's true for the Republicans is false for the Democrats and vice versa. We can't do this. This is not the way this country was built, and it's certainly not the way this country is going to survive. Benny, good morning. So this is at least for the next 2 weeks, and hopefully not much longer than that when we have an election. But we're in this low moment. The behavior of our president is shameful. The fact that he put so many people at risk in coming to a rally. And then they put the mask behind him so you could see those, but people in the audience, aren't encouraged and don't wear them. The fact that he will just sit up and blatantly lie and say that we're turning the corner when we're just at the starting blocks, it seems. The fact that he can mock the scientists. The fact that he can walk out of interviews, that he can be disrespectful in debates. And I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's debate. I know that Biden has been off the campaign trail, focusing on the debate, I suppose. And I really just hope that he can hone in on the over 220,000 people who have died, and the fact that the president is being irresponsible and has become unhinged. So we're in a low moment with a man who can't condemn white supremacy, with someone who is obviously deficient in his ethics. We have a deficiency of ethical leadership, as I've said before. We have someone whose financial entanglements and his legal troubles and worries are obviously bothering him, and the fact that he's the leader of this country should be bothering us. His personal debt and other things that could be threats to our national security. And then somebody who is just dishonest in every respect, who can stand up and lie to your face about sometimes important things and sometimes very trivial things. But at the end of the day, a person who only serves his self-interest, it's all about him. Whatever helps him, damn you. Whether it kills you, whether it kills your family, whether it kills your job, whether it kills your coworker, your kid, it doesn't really matter, Connie. Good morning. It doesn't matter. Whatever serves his self-interest is what he's about. And so we know he's desperate to hold on. I know that I'm encouraged to know that boy, all these, 30 million, approaching 30 million folks or more have voted already. You got to think that this enthusiasm around voting is equivalent to an enthusiasm to get him out of office. Now I'm gonna hold on to that, and I'm gonna trust that that's the case. And I do know that Republicans are are registering to vote at a high clip right now, and they did that. And so, we are registering as Republicans. But you just got to believe that the 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 excitement around voting. Renee already voted. Good for you. Um, this excitement around voting has got to mean that there is an enthusiasm around getting him out of office. So I'm praying that that is the case, because he is the worst political mistake that the United States has ever made. And I've been around for, I forgot how many presidents, quite a few, probably, 10, 12, 9, 10, whatever. There is no other political mistake, I don't think, ever. And I don't think at any, hey, Allison, good morning. I don't think at any kind of position that compares in any way with a mistake that we made in getting him in office. Giving him another 4 years would be, in my opinion, detrimental to this country. We wouldn't know the United States of America. We won't know it. And so, once again, I encourage you, go vote, make sure other people vote, be enthusiastic about voting, and be enthusiastic about getting him out of office. I'm really concerned that even when we vote him out, and I feel really confident that we will, we've still got some issues with him. I've introduced these words over this time that I've been coming on: misogyny, kleptocracy, chaos, which is what we have right now, and what we expect after Election Day, especially if he loses, and fascism. So let me give you an American. There's still time for in-person voting. Thank you. Hey, Juliet, good morning. Let me give you the American version of a fascist act. Happened just the other day. American version, coming from the mouth of the President of the United States, of a fascist act, saying that your opponent and his child, especially your opponent, is a criminal, and imploring the Attorney General to investigate and arrest him. I mean, come on. You're the president, the person that's running against you. You say, and you're saying things that politicians have never said about each other. That started with the lock her up. And I'm going to talk about the Michigan governor just in a moment, because that's deplorable as well. To be able to do that in an American campaign is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Thank you, Lucy. You already voted last month in Virginia. That's good. It's unbelievable that someone could stand up, say that, and get away with it, and not receive the ire and correction from his own political party, much less everybody else. Fascism is what allows an autocrat to be able to say and try to do those kinds of things, to be able to say, I am going to lock up my opponent, and then to be able to act on that and try to do it. That's where we are. Kleptocracy is where there is so much graft and theft, and all the stuff that he talks about is what's happening under his watch. All of those executive decisions and executive orders that he's made to lessen regulations and make our air dirtier and our water dirtier, and allow all kinds of companies to make money off of the backs of American people. All of that is part of kleptocratic kinds of government. That's what they have in Russia. That's why Putin is his idol, because, popular belief is that Putin may just be the richest man in the world because he's led a kleptocracy for so long, and that everything that happens in that country happens at his behest and happens because he allows it to happen, and he gets something for it. And what he's got for it has made him one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest man in the world. Trump idolizes that. Putin doesn't have elections. I mean, they have them, but they don't count. That's what we're being pushed toward by this demagogue, by this wannabe autocratic leader, by this fascist. And what he's doing is he is sowing the seeds for chaos. The Proud Boys and these other groups of white nationalists, they're getting just what they want. An opportunity to be who they are, an opportunity to come out with their flags and their trucks and their guns, and their fatigues, and really sort of instill fear in American citizens, to instill the kind of fear that would allow white supremacy to take a greater foothold in our country, even as we get browner and browner. And in apartheid, it didn't matter that the majority was brown. The minority ruled. They ruled because they owned everything, and they ruled because they controlled everything, and they ruled because if you got out of line, you could be sent to jail or worse. Wow. Wow. So that's what's up. That's why we need to really get out. We need to vote not only this president out, but I think that without being partisan, I think that the Republicans have, they've as the old folks would say, you made your bed, now you have to lay in it. Well, I think the Republicans have dug themselves a hole, a ditch, and I just think they all need to jump in it. And so if we are fortunate enough to be able to win the presidency and the Senate, I think that the Democratic ideas and ideals are more favorable to people, more favorable, as I see them, to me and the folks I care about, to the communities that I care about. And so I look forward to January. I'm sorry. I certainly look forward to inauguration in January, but I also look forward to November 4th or whenever we know the results of the election, to knowing that we have Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as our president and vice president, and that we have Democratic control of the Senate. And then if we can just weather that next 6 weeks until we install our new president, then I think that we'll be good. Now keep your eye out, because even after the 4th, should Trump lose, I expect a bit of chaos. I want you to keep your head down. As they say in football, keep your head on a swivel, because you really want to watch what's going on. Hey, I want to mention just a couple more things before I get out of here. We know that the pandemic has really severely hurt small businesses. It's really had a tremendous negative impact on Black businesses and businesses owned by people of color. And it's up to us as consumers to try to do what we can to make sure that those businesses survive and are able to come back. Congress can't get their act together on what we're going to do to help people as well as small businesses. So we can't wait on them. But we as consumers, especially Black consumers, owe something to our Black small businesses. Look up, do research. You can find everything on Google now. So make sure that, if at all possible, you spend some of your money with somebody who looks like you. It is very important. And for Black businesses who need to be seen, make sure that you are seen. Now, we have a website through one of our websites is the A.G. Gaston Business Institute is GastonBusinessInstitute.com, GastonBusinessInstitute.com. There is a directory of Black businesses on that website. You can go in and enter your information. You don't have to send it to me. If you do, I'll still try to get it on, but you don't have to send it to me. You can go on and follow the instructions, and you can upload your information. You can upload your logo. You know, we want you to be visible. We want you to be seen. And we are promoting the folks that are on this website. I have made it, you know, my charge in life to make sure that I do all I can to help grow Black businesses. It's very important. And what's also important is that we recognize that we have to work hard to remove barriers to success. And that doesn't just go for businesses, that goes for anyone. We have to work hard to remove the barriers to success. And so as it relates to businesses, yes, access to opportunity. And that's one of the things that we want to do, Sharon, good morning, with the website, is to give you opportunities, let people know who you are, what you do, how you do it. We have to remove barriers to access to capital. And that's one of the things that you all know that I've worked on for a career and continue to work on, finding ways to finance and get financing into the hands of people that look like us, business owners as well as consumers. So we have to remove those barriers. The Federal Reserve Bank has come up with a proposal for the Community Reinvestment Act to modernize and improve it. It far exceeds, based on my first read, the proposal that the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency under Trump that's did this past summer, spring and summer. Stay tuned. We'll talk more about that as time goes on. But that allows us to remove some barriers of success. The CRA has always been about place. It's been about low and moderate income communities. Finally, we're talking more about race because we know that in order to close the racial wealth gap, we've got to infuse Black communities and Black people with more resources, access to capital from banks, access to capital to purchase houses, loans to buy houses, access to money to start and grow businesses are critically important. And I think I just want to make sure I'll say this as I leave. It is important to not just Black America, but to America, that all of our people contribute at their highest level, at their highest capacity. We cannot survive and compete in the world with 30% of our population not being able to give their all. But in order to give your all, you have to have opportunity. That's what we're trying to do. Hey, I'll check you out again next week. This is Bob Dickerson with In the Black.